What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another episode, the first episode of Championship Mentality here with my special guest, Brian GLAZE Gibbs. How you doing today, GLAZE?
I'm doing fine, Big O. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Come on, and then we got us our worry, man.
Yes, sir. You're right about that. I brought you here today to discuss some comments that Donovan St. John had made about one of the videos you put up at the Red Parrot, man. But first, I wanted to surprise you with this, man, because I haven't seen anybody ask you about an interview you did on Crime Watch Daily.
Mm-hmm.
You comfortable speaking about that interview?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Who is Joseph Ponzi?
Joe Ponzi was an individual that brought our organization down. Basically right now is the first time I met Joe Ponzi, he testified against me at a trial, that I was guilty of. And he polygraphed my co-defendant at the time. And when he polygraphed him, he said the guy was 100% honest. But just so happened I had got the guy not to testify.
Okay. Do you consider him a friend at this point?
You know what? Yeah, I'm saying right now is, guess what? Helped me out a lot, helped me out a great deal, gave me credit for shit that he didn't get supposed to give me credit for. So you know what? Like I told you, man, sometimes the way life turned out to be, you turn out an enemy and then you want to be in foe.
Okay, because I got the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's all highlighted up. You know what I'm saying? But that's for the interview or whatnot. You feel me? I got both of them. This one right here, this is my copy right here, which is signed. I don't do nothing with that. That's gonna be in the glass case. This right here is the copy I go through for my information and everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I seen his name come up a few times in there, and then the ironically, doing the research on you, that interview popped up with Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
And during the interview, Joe Ponzi, you and Joe Ponzi appeared on Crime Watch Daily with Chris Hansen, where according to former chief investigator of Brooklyn DA's office, you are the man that brought down the criminal enterprise or whatnot during that time. Now, according to your book, the way the book reads and the way that statement came out from him, it doesn't seem the same. I don't understand what he meant by that statement. You know what I'm saying?
The statement is this, right? Everybody know, like I told you, I made a deal. But in the same token or whatever, like I say, never went in front of grand jury, never testified against anybody. And that's what the difference is. But whereas, like in his predicament, in his position, like I told you, he gave me credit for shit that he shouldn't have gave me credit for. But the difference is because of my cases and all the evidence, all the murders that they had against me, what he did was try to help pad it to help me get the best deal that was possible.
Okay. Which empire is he talking about, though? Will he be talking about, because like I said, Chris Hansen's narrating, and he says, according to him, you supposedly brought down an empire or whatnot when you took a plea deal and turned on some former associates. That was his word. Mm-hmm. Now, is he talking about the Eminem crew, or is he talking about the?
He talking about the whole organization as far as right now. There's only one organization that I was up and got charged with, and that was the Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols organization.
Fat Cat Nichols. Okay, but at one point they severed you, though, right? You were severed from the Fat Cat case, you became the number one guy.
You severance. Think about it, how severance is. Severance happened because they don't want to take everybody to trial at one time. So the difference is, okay, now, if they severance us, if they keep us all together, then guess what? You got Cat, you got Pat, then you got me, then you got everybody else under us. So what they do is they just start splitting it up. So the difference is, guess what? I have my own 848. Pappy had his own 848. Cat had his own 848. So what they was doing, despite we was all one, they service us for that particular reason. So in my case, like right now, I'm the main guy. In Pappy case, he's the main guy. In Cat case, he's the main guy. But when they service us, guess what happened? It's separate ways so they can break it down in many ways they want to break it down.
And you became the number one guy. So when they severed you from that package, you was the number one guy on your case.
On my case. And that's how they got it set up. And that's what, like, if you sit back and look at it, me and Cat discrepancy came in when I made a suggestion. I said, look, they got you, they got me, they got Pat, they got the Chinese connection. I said, look, we done. I say, let your moms, let your wife, let your girls, let, you know what I'm saying, your nieces, let pappy moms, let my, you know, say half brother, let all of them go against us. So basically right now we're done, but they get to go home. But what no, you go to trial first. Let's see what they got against you. Then I go to trial. Time out, man. You already got 25 to life. Despite I am who I am, I got 4 felony conviction. I got a
Glaze, you froze on me. If you there, homie, your screen froze. I'm sorry, folks. The broadcast, he coming back. It looked like he coming back. Oh, there you go. Your screen froze for a moment there, sir.
I know. It's like I said right now. They told me to go closer to the router. That's upstairs.
Okay. So when you froze, you was talking about how they had you specifically as, you know, when they settled you guys or whatnot.
Yeah. No, what I was telling you about is when Cat was basically like, okay, cool. When I made Cat the proposition, let us all go to trial. Me, him, Pappy, and John. Let us go to trial. Let everybody go against us. And he denied. He didn't want that. He wanted me to go to trial and let's see what they got against you. Then I go to trial. And to me, like I told you right now, I'm not the smartest, but I'm not the dumbest. You're not gonna use me as a human guinea pig.
And you said that specifically in the book. Now, what's ironic about that is in the end, Cat wound up taking your advice, didn't he? He wound up sitting down and telling people that y'all need to take deals because the Fed's gonna crush your world, according to the book, right?
Yeah, the bottom line is right now, yeah. But if you sit back and you think about it, it's like, okay, cool. You know, like his sister was the first one that turned the boat. She the first one that made the deal. So the difference is right now is when you sit back and look at it, like to me, is like, as I look at it now, who knows what he was gonna do all along. So the difference is what he's trying to see is, okay, how could he wiggle his way out of the situation? And how he was able to do that. Like you said, yeah, he made a deal and he wound up doing what I suggested that he do in the first place, but get everybody to go against us. But he wound up making a deal, you know, and to cut his mom's loose, is cut, like I'm saying, his wife loose. And one of his female friend only got a, you know, she got sentenced to, I think the sentence was in that steep. It was like a minor, like sentence.
Now, in the midst of all this, not to get off topic, because I do want to get to this red parrot thing, but while we're speaking about it, in the midst of all of this, Pappy's mother is convicted, right?
Eventually, she was. You know what I'm saying? Right now is, if Pat would have took a plea, he could eliminate and exonerate his mom, got his mom's probably probation. But right now, Pappy wasn't pleading guilty to nothing. So that's his mentality, and he didn't want to do that. To me, like, I don't care. Like I said, I would have did whatever it takes to free my moms. So to me,
yes, sir.
Take a deal, whatever I need to do. My mom wasn't going to jail on any.
Yes, sir.
So everybody's different. Everybody, like, you know, say belief system is different. Everybody mindset is different. But to me, like if it was my mom's, whatever it took for me to make sure that she was all right and that she didn't go to jail, I would do it.
That's what Nikki Barnes spoke of, that street corner indoctrination or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what Pappy was caught up in. I mean, you know, like you said, every man is different, but I definitely would not let my mother go to jail under any circumstances. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how anybody looks at me about whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was ironic. Like, okay, if Fat Cat eventually took your advice and told his people that they take deals or whatnot, get out the way, that way y'all not doing too much time or whatever, it seemed like Pappy would have followed suit or whatnot, especially with his right-hand man, Ruff. Ruff wound up taking the deal and bringing you know what I'm saying, bringing all the shit to the floor, right?
But see, you guys sit back and think about it. Ruff, Pappy, two totally different individuals. You know what I'm saying? Period. Like Pappy, that was Pappy. Pappy is one of those individuals, that's what he did. He breathes, sleep, eat, like, you know what I'm saying, like how he feel. You know what I'm saying? Pappy was the real deal. And right now you talking about, it's no comparison, Ruff versus Pappy. You know what I'm saying? Period. That's like night and day. You know, Ruff was like, you know, like Pappy puppet. Whatever Pappy needed him, wanted him to do, that's what he did.
Understood. Okay, now dig, man. I recently had a conversation with Donovan St. John, man, and he had a few things to say about that Bloody Hatchet video you put up. You put up a video about the red parrot and what went on that night, and he seemed to think you saw things from a jaded view, to say the least. Now, he says, I give Glaze credit. He's not one of those back down type niggas. He got principle. But Glaze exaggerates a lot of things. And I remember the situation distinctly where Hatchet said, yo, that pussy ass nigga Jesus is here with Glaze. It's going to be some problems tonight. So contrary to Glaze thinking niggas wasn't on point, he was wrong. What you think about that statement?
First of all, like I say, I don't know Donovan sent John, sent James, whatever he is. But the difference is right now where it's like, to me, like, you know, my memory is like, you know, it's not shot. The difference is, like you say, he's 6'7", 6'8". Okay. Only person who was there was Bloody Hatchet and Carl Singleton, aka Divine. And right now it's like Carl Singleton's like 6'2". Okay. So the difference is I knew Carl Singleton. My man Best Dive knew Hatchet. So that's the only reason they got that close in the first place. So when you sit back and you look at it, like the story that Donovan St. John told, it to me is a bunch of BS. And why is a bunch of BS? He's 6'7", 6'8". He's like a basketball player size. So first of all, I don't care if you a basketball player size or you're a midget. You're not getting up in my company without me being aware. So for him to say he was there, guess what? I wouldn't know that. And what I'm saying is right now is it didn't make no difference. Hatchet and Divine was drunk that night. So even right now was I had so much of force, so much of firing power with me that night. It didn't make no difference whether Donovan St. John, like you say, Scooter and all those guys were there. It wouldn't make no difference because the bottom line is right now was during that period of time, the way I was and who I was with at the time, they would have got lit up. But what happened was the fact that we in a crowded club. What the sense of me trying to do something that we can't get away, and there's a bunch of innocent people would have got hurt in the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's what you feel like suppressed your temperament at the time.
Say that again.
I said that's what you feel like suppressed your temperament at the time. The fact that you were in a crowded nightclub and
you're in a crowded nightclub. Like the difference is this, man. Like when you know who you are and you got true identity, and at that situation, that time, the key is this: I had the art. The art was with me. These guys didn't stand a chance. And just like I said right now, it was Hatchet and it was only Divine. Like the difference is right now, Donovan St. John, and like you say, Scooter and all those guys around. Guess what? They probably was close to the door to get the hell out of there. They was not in my immediate circus under any circumstance. So they probably right now is just in case these fools go up there and get themselves executed, they ready to haul them behind. You know what I'm saying? His big 6'8", 9", whatever tall he was, would have been running the hell out that damn door. He was not that close amongst me under any circumstance. So right now, wherever he got that jailhouse story from or whoever told him that story, tell him to get his facts straight. You know what I'm saying? Period. I don't give a damn who he was or what he thought he was at that present time. He was never that close around me with everybody else. So, you know, everybody wants to speak about shit. This is the second time that story was told. You know what I'm saying? It was told years before Hatchet died. And it was told just recently after Hatchet died. So the difference is, I didn't hear nothing from him. All of a sudden, he being at Hatchet died, that was there. He gonna come along and say that? Nah, I don't. This is like I told you right now. I don't know who he is. It don't make me no different. But like I said, if he was there that night, which I doubt, he was closer to the door than closer to where he say he was at.
Dig that. Okay. He also says the moment Hatchet saw Glaze walk into the club with the moment Hatchet saw Glaze walk into the club, Glaze immediately became the enemy simply because we know what Glaze does and we know what Hatchet did to Jesus prior.
Okay, even with that, like I said, we talked about that before. Like, I didn't know nothing about that. And the difference is right now is Jesus was with me. Jesus grew up with me. So the difference is if something would have jumped off or something would have transpired, like I said right now, Hatchet, you know what I'm saying, Divine, whoever was with them wouldn't stand a chance in hell. The same way Jesus came in that club is the same way he would have went home. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying right now, whatever they had to, whatever beef that Jesus and Hatchet had, guess what? It was none of my damn business. But in the same token, Jesus came with me that night. So Jesus would have left the same way he came with me that night under any circumstance. So I don't care. You know, just like I told you right now, this is many years ago. Like me and Jesus, we used to battle in Cyprus. But when we out together, that's my man. That's my brother. So the difference is me and my brother can fight, but nobody gonna fight my brother. So the difference is that night, like I say, anytime Jesus was around me, guess what? The same way he's king, that's the same thing he was going to leave. Otherwise, it's going to be holy war.
No doubt. No doubt. Now, speaking of that, Donovan St. John also said that you were baited that night and didn't even know it. That Jesus didn't put you on to the fact that Hatchet had taken a spot from him a month or so prior, and a real nigga would have told you, Glaze, that's the nigga that took my spot and made you aware of the situation at the time. Okay. How you feel about that? Like you said, you know, he came with you, he leave with you. And you know, that nigga probably knew that. Speaking of Jesus, you know what I'm saying?
And even if he did knew that, the same period, it made me no different. Just like I said right now, where it's like, to me, I don't have, like the stuff that, you know, Donovan St. John saying is no credibility. To me, like I said right now, is a bunch of bogus BS. It's something that he come along. That's his story. You know what I'm saying? Period. That's, you know, just like I said right now, once again, like I told you, so to me, what he did is he did time, and he's around a bunch of cats, and they was telling the stories or whatever. He been around Hatchet and then listen to the story. Now he trying to fine tune it and implement himself. He trying to sew himself into the story. It didn't happen. So the difference is right now, who was baited, who was not baited, will we ever know? To me, all that's a bunch of BS. The difference is, only thing he had to do back then was jump and leap like a frog. Then guess what? We wouldn't be having this conversation right now because he wouldn't be here.
Word. He wouldn't be here. All right. Now I got two more statements from him. He says, the only reason Hatchet was eyeing Glaze down was because he thought Jesus brought Glaze a step to him over the spot he took. And unfortunately, Glaze didn't realize that once Hatchet took Jesus' spot, he became a punk to us. And we see this punk nigga Jesus walk in with this nigga with all these stripes on his shoulder. And the first thing comes to our mind is what? He's been hired. He hired Glaze for retribution for what happened earlier on when he took that spot. Because he said, according to Donovan St. John, the spot was a $30,000, $40,000 a day spot or whatnot. So when they saw him walk in with you, they said, okay, he must have hired Glaze, or, you know, brought him on as a partner to make sure that shit don't happen no more. He said that's the only reason that Hatchet was, you know, eyeing you down that night like that or whatnot.
Okay. And you know, once again, like I say, I'm gonna stick to my story and say what I say. I don't believe anything that come out that dude's mouth. All that is a bunch of nonsense. The difference is right now, I heard about the incident after the fact, what happened with the spot between Hatchet and Jesus or whatever. But once again, pertaining to that night, it's not the fact that Jesus baited me, because once again, when we want to go out, we want to hang out, that's what we did. So it didn't matter right now is whether we wanted to go to Kentucky Derby at that time. So the difference is, was they going to be at the Kentucky Derby? No. So it doesn't matter. Like wherever we decide that we want to go, that's what we did to have a good time. So, you know, once again, like as far as I'm being baited, I never saw it like that. And once again, like I keep trying to say is, I don't believe nothing coming out of that guy's mouth. I think right now is, like I say, it's a jailhouse story that he heard it, you know, saying second and third and fourth hand. And that's it. So the difference is, like I said right now, is to me, that night in particular, where me, Hatchet, and like I say, Divine, that was there with my crew. Like I say right now, is it ended the way it's supposed to end it. If it was going to be more, would have been more. And guess what? If you noticed, nothing happened. Everybody went their separate way.
Okay, one last thing. He says, Hatchet's mind state that night was that these niggas ain't killing me tonight. And when he started to stare him down and so on, and he started to, let me get it straight. He says, Hatchet's mind state was these niggas ain't killing me tonight. And he started to stare Glaze down. So Glaze can say how he felt like this and that and the other about Jesus and them. But at the end of the day, they were on point and they had their guns in the club too.
Once again, 2 against a crew, it's not going to happen. And once again, like I said right now, is the bottom line is, you know, I only saw Hatchet and I only saw Call Singer Divine. I didn't see nobody else. For this man to be how tall that man is?
Say that again?
How tall that man is?
Like 6'6", 6'7".
Okay, for him to be 6'6", 6'7", he must be, like I tell you right now, was plastered to a wall or up in the sky hiding or whatever. Because it's like you said right now, is trust me, anybody know me, I'm like this. I'm face to face, eyeball to eyeball. So like I tell you right now, is like I say, no way in the world he was around. No way around 6'7", 6'6". It didn't happen. So once again, I don't know where he get the story from. So he got part of the story wrong, you know, and what he trying to do is implement himself into the story. It's like you baking a cake and he trying to put extra ingredient into the cake, and it's a bunch of BS. You can't take BS and put it into a cake and make the cake taste good. So my story is this: he was nowhere around. I don't care what he say, what he think, or what he trying to add. Tell him go back and read some more book. Tell him go back and listen to more jailhouse story. The bottom line is the guy full of dog doo-doo.
Okay, well, that's all I got for this episode right here, Championship Mentality, man. I appreciate you coming through and participating. And I'm hoping to get you back sometime soon, man. I got a whole lot of questions, man. I don't know. This interview that we were supposed to do, man, it's going to be kind of long. I don't know if you're going to have time to get into it today.
Nah, like I said, look, man. Here it is right now. First thing first. You see this right here? Let them know where to get their copies from. Let them know. For them to get their signed copy, email me, Brian, BRIAN, GIBBS 1201 at yahoo.com. And what you're going to hear, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the truth. So the difference is most of the stuff is in the book. Plus, I got a couple of audio books out there. Straight from the Street, Volume 1, Straight from the Street, Volume 2, www.audible.com. Listen, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. Hey, thank you for having me on your platform, my brother. I appreciate it. And like I say, looking for future things, man, because I like what you're doing. Like I said right now, the debate team, all the way, man. Debate team. Look, get the crime doesn't pay. You know, get the crime doesn't pay. Tell Donovan St. John. Tell Donovan St. John. That's where he heard all these stories from, jailhouse stories, man. He's around all these guys, and he heard the jailhouse stories. And guess what happened, man? He all of a sudden he gonna implement himself into the story, man. You 6'6", you 6'7". You know, the bottom line is right now, nobody gonna miss your big behind, man. So for him to be there, he was not there. Like I said, he was there when he saw Hatch and them coming my way. He thought about it. Oh man, Hatch and them gonna get themselves killed. So let us go ahead and sneak on out of here before that happened. That's the difference.
Well, like we say here, UpForDebateTv is two sides to every story, maybe three.
It's the truth. It's the truth, and it's the truth. Ain't no, if you ain't there, how can you tell the truth? You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me right now, if I'm 6'7", 6'8" in front of your face, you ain't gonna know me? You ain't gonna, oh shit, who was that big dude? Who that tall dude, man?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Period. It's hard to miss, man. So that's what I'm saying right now, where it's like, hey, look, man, I got all my faculty. I got all my mental faculty, man. And the difference is right now, my memory exaggerate what? I would exaggerate, all right. Oh man, it was a big, tall dude. It was a big, tall, doofy dude that was there with Hatchet and them. It didn't happen, man. It didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said right now is that's the truth. And just like I said right now, when they talk about Jesus or whatever, it don't make no difference. Anytime Jesus was in my presence, guess what? If I'm there, guess what? Nothing was going to happen to him under any circumstance. I don't care. We got a love-hate brother relationship. But under any circumstance, when Jesus was in my company, nothing was going to happen to him. So we can take that to the bank. So they can think what they want to think about him or whatever. But guess what? Nothing ever happened to him when he was with me in my presence.
Well, I bank on that. You know, I respect you, big homie. Hey, your word is your word. Like you said, you remind me of the Marlo nigga. Like I say, my word is my name is my name. Shit, my word is my word. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Like I told you, man, what we talk, me and you have some deep conversation. And, we express ourselves the way that we feel. And like I told you, that was back then, man. Like, my story is my ministry. And my story is about how do we get the next generation to don't let history continue to repeat itself. How do we get these kids to stop making that multi-billion-dollar prison system their permanent address? How do we get these rappers to stop killing one another, man? Stop, like right now, putting their life on the line each and every day. So all that other stuff around, like I told you, what I like about you from day one, you've been straightforward, and that's different. Otherwise, if you wasn't straightforward, me and you wouldn't be on this, having this heart to heart right now, man. So the difference, like I said, I got the utmost respect for you, the things that you do and how you do things. And even right now, where it's like, you school me. You trying to help me with different things. So the difference is right now, all wise men seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. So some of the things that you came along and anytime I asked you a question about when I was trying to build my platform or whatever, you know what? You became open book. Hold up. Open up the page. Let me give you the blueprint. Let me give you step by step or whatever. So that's what it's all about, man. You're not like the typical crab in the barrel. The difference is that we are a crab and we in the barrel. What you doing is trying to push me up. You ain't trying to pull the brother back down. So that's what I respect and understand. And despite, you know what I'm saying, you're younger than me, I love that, because the fact is right now, like, even when we try and get going with this program today, you know, I'm not tech savvy. I'm like, yo, how you know all this stuff? And you walking me step by, you know, I don't pretend. I tell like it is, man. Like you say right now, like I ask you, like, look, I raise my hand, your teacher, how you do this, how you do that. So
yes, sir.
It's nothing wrong with that. If you know your stuff and you can help me to grow and get where I need to be at, that's what it's all about, man. And that's what we all have to do, help one another out, man. So even like you say, even with this, you know, situation, you know, right now with the Donovan St. John and the hatchet and the Jesus stuff or whatever, we talked about that before. And like I say right now is I'm not trying to, how can I say, like, downplay anybody, but I know what I know. And like I told you, when we first talked about that, man, it don't change. Because if he was there, I'd be, oh, yo, man, now that you say it, I remember that. You know, I'm going to give you a jewel. It was me and Bimmy. Bimmy is affiliated with the Supreme Team. And right now, Bimmy had did a video, and he made mention, like, one time, like, GLAZE and his crew surrounded around me. And, you know, he, like, right now, where it's like he told Prince about it. And Prince said, yo, man, wait till I get bail out. Wait till I come home. He said, man, wait till you come home. You might don't come home. So the difference is, like, I had put up a piece about Bimmy had, you know what I'm saying, say that if I had surrounded around Bimmy would have been singing that New Edition song, Is This the End? And the difference was, what wound up happening was, you know, it went on for a while. Then me and Bimmy wound up talking about it. And when we wound up talking about it, he told me about the situation when I surrounded him. You know, it was after Fat Cat's sister had died, when they threw the firebomb in Fat Cat's sister's house. And he had came afterwards. And right now he was with some people, and they got into the truck. And, you know, we was surrounding people. Because we was on point after some shit. You just lost a family member. You know what I'm saying? Well, I just lost Fat Cat's sister, you know what I'm saying, to death. So we on watch. So when he brought that together, I took that piece down. Why? Because he corrected something. Because, you know, right now is he showed me something that I forgot about. So what I'm trying to show right now is, you know, I'm man enough to say, if somebody points something out and I'm wrong about something, or, you know, I took something the wrong way, bingo, I can apologize. I can come back and, like, leave it alone. And that's what I did. So I had to take it down, because once again, I thought he was talking about something totally different, but he was telling the truth when we surrounded him. But I just was thinking about a whole totally different time. So.
Okay. Okay, well, GLAZE, you know I respect you, man. And like you said earlier, you can help me a whole lot. You can taught me a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my favorite GLAZE phrases is, one hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. You know what I'm saying? And then I felt like you taught me something through your video. That's the thing too, man. You teach a lot through your videos. You know, I don't know if you know it or not. I don't know if it's set up like that, but there's always a message. It ain't just you telling a war story. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I was going through something mentally, and I caught one of your videos, and at the end of the video, you said, I want everybody out here watching this to take into account, if you got something in your life, you're dealing with a person, individual, situation, and it's not adding value, let that shit go. You know what I'm saying? And I was dealing with a situation very similar to that. You know what I'm saying? With what I was going through or whatnot. And you taught me a lesson, and I put it in your comments, like, message received. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's not just about, oh, okay, GLAZE about to tell us when he was shooting at this dude or when he was shooting at that dude. It's like you said, it's a ministry. I want the message. You know what I'm saying? I want to, when you dig into a man's psyche, it lets you know who they really are. You letting us know who you really are with those type of messages. And they outright, you know what I'm saying, for anybody to receive, it's just on the individual on the other end of that screen. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for that. I really do believe it's a ministry. I really do believe you out here trying to help the children, the youth, Black youth, Latino youth, even the white youth. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's putting themselves in a predicament, like you said, to throw a brick at that prison wall and wind up inside of it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for that, and you deserve big ups for it. You know what I'm saying? Despite what anybody else say, fuck the opposition, GLAZE. You doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you for it. You know what I mean?
You know what? There's another saying. You know what? Like you say, despite what anybody else may say, you know what? As long as people are talking about you, whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Period. You're doing something right. When they stop talking about you, that's when you got to worry, man. And that's what you got to look at, man. So it's all about, like you talking about, the older you get, man, like I told you at one point in time, I was rich, but I wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? Right now, in my early 20s, I was rich. But what the sense of having it if you're not happy, you're not at peace? Now I'm at a different state in my mind, in my life. Whereas it's a teachable moment. It's a coachable moment. How do you help people get where they need to be at in life? How do I get people to learn from my mistake, my misdeed? I was once the problem. Now what I'm seeking to do, right my wrong and be part of the solution.
I told you to watch Constantine, man. I couldn't find the link to it. You remind me of John Constantine, man. You know, Constantine, for all intents and purposes, he sold his soul to the devil. And at some point, he realized that wasn't the way he was trying to go. So he fought the rest of his life trying to get back into God's graces. He exorcised demons. He fought devils. You know what I'm saying? Shadows, whatever he could in order to get back into God's graces. And eventually he did. You know what I'm saying? Through his works on earth or whatnot. And I feel like that's where you at. Because reading the book, you said that you went to the chaplain and you let all your sins go. And from that day forth, you've been living a righteous life. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's what Constantine did as well. You know, seeing what he saw going down the path he was going down. I'm going to find that link and send it to you. One of my favorite actors, Keanu Reeves. He played Constantine, man. The same dude from John Wick and everything else. You know what I mean? It's a great movie, man. I think you should check it out.
Right now, listen to you because you tell me, you know, just like I tell you right now, man, within a short period of time, man, within the last year or so, you taught me a lot. And that's different. Like I keep saying, all wise man seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. You can learn from a baby. You can learn from anybody if you want to learn. And that's different. It doesn't matter. People feel right now is the youth for our future. So despite you younger than me, that don't mean you can't teach. No, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me get my pen and paper out. Let me wait. What? You helped me out a lot of stuff when I was trying to get, you know, my little platform, my YouTube, like, how do I do this or how do I do that? And some of the stuff I was able to utilize and some of the stuff I wasn't. Even right now with the next step that you do now. Hey, look, I'm looking forward to getting to that. So that's what I'm saying. So you as somebody set trend, you got people that set trend and you got people that follow trend. So the difference right now, what you're doing, you're becoming a trendsetter. And hey, hats off, man. So whatever I can do, you know what I'm saying, to help you in, you know, the direction that you're going, as long as it's positive, empowerment, uplifting, and that's it. And that's the difference. That's why, like I say, what I love how the title is, Up for Debate, man. Up for debate. And debate team mentality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Glaze, man. We're going to wrap this episode up, man. Thank you for coming through, man. I look forward to seeing you again. And anything, let them know again where they get it from. Brian Gibbs at 1201 at yahoo.com.
Brian Gibbs 1201. 1201 is December 1st. 1201 at yahoo.com. Email me to order your copy. Get your merch. Crime doesn't pay. If I can change, anybody can change. Could change come from where? Within. Change come from what? Pain. Woo. Like I say, man, with every ounce of pleasure, there's a pound of pain in life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks again, Mr. Glaze. Stay behind in the broadcast studio real quick so I can get with you.
Say what?
I say stick behind in the broadcast studio real quick so I can talk to you.
Brian Glaze Gibbs, the one and only. If there's another, he's a phony.
That's the one they call Glaze, folks, man. Thanks again.
One love, baby.